Okay, so it's time for the final show with Freddy Showtime on Rollercoin. Stay tuned. Alright, so if you're one of the lucky ones to have received all of those 9 miners that you would have worked very hard for, then now it's time for you to be able to craft that Freddy Showtime Mega Miner. So on my screen here, you can see my Rollercoin homepage and Music Festival final crafting with another day remaining. Okay, so if we click that, you can see that here you can craft, and I've already started my craft yesterday. The entire craft does take a day and a half to complete. It doesn't matter if you start it now, even though only a day is remaining, you'll still be able to claim Freddy Showtime, even though there is less time remaining than the actual craft time. That will still remain there, and you'll be able to claim any previous crafts that you have started. So don't worry about that. You can start it even 10 minutes before it ends. You'll still have to wait a day and a half, obviously, but you'll be able to claim that anyway, even though the craft will have ended. So I just want to point out one thing here, that this Freddy Showtime, so 20.5 petahash with a 7% bonus. Now, remember that this is very important, that after crafting is done, you will get the final Freddy Showtime miner, and all those 9 instruments, all these 9 here that you gained, will be burned in order to create Freddy Showtime. Now, this is a very important point, because you're not actually getting the full 20.5 petahash in this case, or the full 7% bonus, because you've already accumulated power here, and that total power, I've calculated this, it just comes over above 9 petahash when you actually get all of these 9. So when you're getting 9 petahash for these 9 miners, you're going to actually have to burn that 9 petahash in order to get Freddy Showtime. So let's say you got 9, you're going to get rid of that 9 to get the 20. So in actual fact, you're going to be gaining 11.5 petahash in pure gain. Okay, so just keep that in mind. It won't be a full 7%. I'd say it'd be more closer to around 5 or 5.5%, because obviously all of these had some form of bonus attached to them as well, even though it might not have been that large, but it's still a bit of bonus. So again, that is eating into that 7%, because you're going to burn these. If you are not going to burn these, then you would have accumulated 9 petahash plus the 20.5 full 20.5 petahash from Freddy Showtime. But in this case, they're all going to be burned. Okay, it's not like when there was the super yacht one, when we actually got to keep all those super yachts, plus we got the big boss miner. Do you remember that one? So that was different. Okay, so you got the big boss miner, I believe that was 9 petahash, plus you got to keep all the other miners that you needed to acquire in order to be able to get the big boss miner. In this case, it's different. Okay, so you're going to be actually getting rid of all of these. So again, just keep these little things in mind, because they're important as well when it comes to your overall strategy and calculating what your total power will be. Okay, so in another 12 hours and a half, I'm going to be able to get Freddy's Showtime right there. So I'm looking forward to that. Tomorrow I'll be actually getting that and adding another 20.5 petahash to my arsenal of power. Now, another thing to note is that here, where you have your bonus, 256% in my case, okay, so it's 256.52%, I've got currently 519.7 petahash. I'm going to add on that 20.5 tomorrow, okay, with a 7% bonus. So the 7% bonus is going to be added here. Obviously, this reduced a bit when I actually did burn all of these, okay, so this 256.52 probably was around 258, something like that. Okay, then I burned all of those miners. They got removed from the shelves. As you can see, I've got some blank spaces where all those 9 were removed. Okay, blank spaces there, but the 7% is going to be added back on. Okay, and I'm going to have the 20. Okay, so let's say that's going to come up to 540 or 541, okay? It's 20.5, so that 7%, which will bring me up to around 263%, okay? That 263% will be added on to the bonus that I will have for my total miners, okay? So if we go to profile stats here, and I see my minus power, at the moment I've got 140 petahash per second. I'm going to add on another 20.5 to that, so that's going to bring me up to 160.8, something like that, okay? And then that 160.8 will have another 7%, which will bring this up to 263. That percentage, 263, which is what I'm going to have tomorrow pretty much, will be calculated on the 161 petahash that I'll be getting from Freddy's Showtime, and that will rack up the bonus, okay? So the bonus power here will increase even more based on that, okay? So I'm going to have 263% on a total of 163.5 petahash, okay? Hope I'm being clear on this. If not, if you're confused about any of the calculations, just leave me a comment down below and I'll do my best to answer you as best as possible. But just remember that this bonus percentage here is always calculated on whatever miner power you have. And this is, in my case, on 140 petahash, 256.52% of 140 will give me that total of 361 additional bonus power, okay? So see how important that bonus power is right there, and always keep these things in your mind when you're actually doing your strategy and planning how the power that you're going to acquire will affect you as well, okay? Because this is how I calculate things. I know I'm getting that 20.5 tomorrow. I know that I'm increasing 7% here. So when I come to calculate everything, that is a clearer way to be able to do it. And you know exactly what you're going to get in the long run. And like I said at the start of the video, I had to obviously deduct these because they were burned. So again, in reality, it's like I earned the 11.5 and not the entire 20.5, okay? Just keep all of these little things in mind and you'll be even more successful in the game because you'll know exactly what you're doing and how much you're going to be earning. And at the end of the day, it's all about getting that crypto. Now, another thing I wanted to mention is that currently for another 5 days, we've got the Nero burning roam going on. You can burn the miners that you don't want, that you actually have loads of. So those miners that you can't sell, for example, like Burgess Edge, and I've got loads of ASIC bits and things like that, you can actually burn all of those and just get points for them, and then that will accumulate and you'll be able to get prizes, which are here at the top. And you can get the very last one, which is this Cerberus, which is the Epic Edition, and that's a 1.1 petahash power right there that you can acquire. If you actually get through all of this, you'd need 100,000 points in order for you to get that. So 100,000 e-coins, okay? So again, 1,000 e-coins for each 75 terahash that you burn. This is at least a bit more lenient because I believe that was 1,000 e-coins for each 100,000 the last time. So at least it's a bit better this time around, okay? My advice to you is those miners that you don't need, that you're not going to merge, that you can't sell, I would start off with those, okay? So like I mentioned, the Burgess Edge, ASIC bit, GPU bit, there's loads of those that you cannot sell, especially if they do not have a bonus. I'd get rid of those first. If you have multiple ones that actually do have a bonus, so you've got multiple of the same ones, like I know I've got mine and base, I've got like 2 of those or 3 of those, or this dollar miner, see it's got 0%. If I'm not going to merge it, I could get rid of it. You could always sell them, you don't need to burn them, but when you're burning, you're acquiring new, maybe more powerful miners that you don't have. In my case, I've already got all of these miners, pretty much all of them, maybe not all of the Cerberus ones. I don't have the epic one maybe, but I do have the Cerberus. I do have the uncommon one. I think this is the uncommon one. So I've got most of these, okay? There's the inclusion miner. I've got that as well because I had already merged it. So see if it's worth it for you or not. It might be more worth it just for you to sell it. But if you don't have these in the long run, it will be more worth it for you to actually burn them to acquire even more miners, even more powerful miners as well. Some of these might even have a bonus attached to them. Actually, most of them will, especially ones that are uncommon and the epic ones. Okay, so just keep that in mind. There's also the Minotaur here, and that's a rare edition there, and you've also got the uncommon one there as well. So do your homework properly, do your calculations, see if that's worth it for you. Now, last but not least, starting from tomorrow, the 27th of April until the 1st, an announcement made by Rollercoin already on their Discord server is Fall of Rome. This is going to be the last progression event of this season. This season has until next week. There are a few days remaining, I believe 5 days remaining, so less than a week remaining. And this is the last progression event where you will be able to win the ultimate last defender, which is a 3 petahash miner with a 3% bonus. Okay, now remember that these might be limited edition miners. They might not necessarily be able to be sold. So keep that in mind, that when you acquire these, you can be possibly acquiring miners that you will not find on the marketplace. So keep that in mind as well. 3% bonus is quite a good amount as well. So be sure to try and get the last defender in the last battle for the Fall of Rome between the 27th of April and the 1st of May. So that's pretty much it, and the end of the season is drawing near. Hope you enjoyed the season and playing the game as well, and that you managed to earn quite a bit of power during the season. I definitely managed to go from like 200 petahash up to 500 and over petahash this season. I did do a couple of small investments as well. Obviously, I'm always investing the crypto that I'm actually getting from the game itself, and I'm putting it back into the game as well. So that's helping me out a lot to move me along. And I always try to complete those progression events and look out for certain sales, especially when there are flash sales like this, and some miners maybe can't be sold. In this case, they all can be sold, so you'd probably find them cheaper in the marketplace. But occasionally there might be a few that can't be sold, so look out for those, because those will be special miners that you might never have the chance to acquire ever again, and they might also have bonuses attached to them as well. Okay, so just remember, Freddy's Showtime, you've got another day remaining for you to click that craft button. If you have all the miners, if you don't have them all, you might find some in the marketplace as well. I remember Ruster's Rift was like at 73 RLT, so let's just, out of curiosity, see how much it is. Ruster, I remember that. Okay, there are 4 remaining and currently at almost 80. Obviously, people are inflating the prices here. They actually bought more of them. They'll inflate the price so that obviously they take advantage of the current situation. I'm definitely sure that 353 terahash with 0.15% bonus attached to it is not worth that much. So this is definitely going to drop down. If they're not going to be sold in the next day after this, it'll drop down because there'll be no point, there'll be no event going on. So the prices will definitely go down and settle back to normal if you actually want to acquire one of those anyway, just to add on the bonus maybe, okay? Or maybe resell it again, or maybe even try to merge them if that is possible as well. I don't know if you can actually merge these, not totally sure about that. But there you go, okay? Just look out for these little things, because obviously every little bit makes a difference and it'll help you along the way on your Rollercoin journey. And now I am going to shut up and let you get on with enjoying Rollercoin and the final crafting. Just one last very minor thing before the end of the season: make sure to spend all of your RST, okay? So the RST you can spend on parts. You can go to the parts store and actually to the season store and actually buy parts. You can actually buy these miners. I actually bought 2 Cup of Glories. I actually got parts as well. I've got like 470 RST remaining. So I'll be using those up before this end of the season. Season pass I had actually completed as well totally. You can get all rewards again when you complete them. But obviously it's going to cost you, it'll cost like 400 RLT for me to do that. But I'll get 37 mines and 3000 RSC if I want to do that again. I'm not going to. I just completed all of them and I didn't do anything special at all. I just used to hit the daily quests and the weekly quests and pretty much hit every single task there were, almost all of them. I used to leave 2 out, I believe the ones from the task wall, because I don't get the surveys anyway. But other than that, I didn't used to do anything special. 5 days, 18 hours remaining for this season, so be sure to spend that RST before the season is over. So that's pretty much it for this one. I hope that you found this video useful. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please do so down below, smash the like button and hit that notification bell to be notified when new videos come out on my channel. And until next time, take very good care of yourselves and thanks for watching.